Samsung seems to be changing its course with its plans for the Galaxy S26 series. Apple is reportedly doing changes to the strategy for how it launches the M5 MacBook Pro models. New leaks of Samsung's Galaxy TriFold hint to things we've never actually seen before, and yeah, it seems the iPhone Fold will follow on a lot of what Apple has pretty much learned from the Air. I'm Jaime Rivera, and it's time for these 4 interesting topics. This is Tech Briefing, powered by MediaTek. It seems Apple's plans for the future MacBooks are about to slightly change, sort of. The way things usually go is we get MacBook Pros with all versions of M chips, and then the following year we get the Airs, but not this year. Apple's reportedly preparing to launch a base MacBook Pro powered by the standard M5 chip later this year, but the higher-end variants will have to wait. According to Apple Insider, sources familiar with macOS Tahoe development and internal hardware testing reveal that this entry-level M5 MacBook Pro is already nearing release, with Apple currently testing it on an unreleased macOS 26.0.2 build. The more powerful 14 and 16-inch M5 Pro and M5 Max models are set to arrive in early 2026, shipping with macOS 26.3 pre-installed, and heck, we even hear of a release in January, which is super odd. It's not the first time it happens, though. The M1 and M2 MacBook Pros went through a similar process where base models launch months ahead of the Pro and the Max variants. Recent FCC filings for a single, unreleased MacBook Pro further support this timeline, by the way. Meanwhile, the M5 chip itself will also debut in the next iPad Pro and Vision Pro, apparently, offering up to 12% faster CPU, 36% faster GPU performance than the M4, given the possible M3P process that we currently see on the iPhone. Anyone expecting bigger leaps in design, that might not happen until late 2026. Let me know in the comments if you're looking out for any of these models, because I actually want the regular 12-inch MacBook. And let's continue talking Apple, because now we have to talk about the rumored iPhone Fold that keeps getting interesting. According to analyst Jeff Pu, the device will feature a hybrid frame made of titanium and aluminum, which makes sense given the approach Apple followed with the Air. Yes, the Pros did switch to aluminum, but that's not who Apple is apparently targeting with this device. Now, Pu's note significantly contrasts what we had heard before from Ming-Chi Kuo, who claimed that the iPhone Fold would have a titanium frame with a hinge combining both materials. That said, it could just be that the company is still experimenting with the final design before manufacturing, as it usually does. These devices don't really get finalized until like 7 months before the product is launched. In terms of hardware, the iPhone Fold is rumored to include a 5.5-inch outer display and a 7.8-inch inner folding panel. It's also expected to replace Face ID with Touch ID, possibly integrated into the power button like we see with the iPad mini and the Air. Now, on the software side, Apple is set to be developing all these changes on iOS 27, with a dedicated set of features tailored for the foldable experience, allowing for the iPhone Fold to handle multitasking split-screen apps and dynamic layouts more seamlessly. And listen, I know, I also wanted iPadOS 27 instead, but this pretty much hints to possible timing in the fall. Are you holding out for what Apple is going to do before you consider a foldable? Let me know in the comments. Now let's switch to Samsung, as the company's TriFold continues to take the spotlight. While there are still no confirmed dates, new details from a patent filed in Korean authorities reveal that the device will feature 3 separate batteries, one on each folding segment pretty much. According to the sketches, the smallest battery, which is labeled T1, is housed in the section with the triple rear cameras. The second largest, T3, sits behind the cover display, and then the largest, T2, occupies the center panel that folds between the other two. Kind of makes sense. This unique setup could allow Samsung to balance power distribution across the TriFold's complex structure, ensuring consistent performance no matter how it is folded or used, though I didn't even think that would be a problem, but I guess it is. The exact capabilities and charging speeds weren't listed in the document, but users are hoping for a major upgrade over the Galaxy Z Fold 7's meager 4400 mAh battery with 25-watt charging. Early reports suggest that the Galaxy Z TriFold may launch globally, including the United States, after initial rumors hinted South Korea and China exclusively. The device is now expected to debut towards the end of this month, apparently, potentially alongside Samsung's possible Android XR headset, codenamed Project Muhan, which we've seen already a lot, which is apparently scheduled to launch around October 22nd after a brief pre-registration period in South Korea. Would you buy this TriFold if it launches in the United States, and if so, for how much? Let me know in the comments. Now, before we get to the hottest news, let me tell you about today's sponsor, MediaTek. Yes, the company powers most smart TVs in the market today, but what if your current TV is already aging and getting sluggish and you're not ready to upgrade just yet? Well, meet Google's TV Streamer 4K, powered by MediaTek's 8696 processor. It allows you to pretty much turn any TV or monitor into the fastest smart TV money can buy. It gives you full access to Google TV and more than enough RAM for you to jump between applications without these having to reload all the time. It lets you control your smart home with ease and even pair your Pixel Buds for whenever you want more immersive watching. It's yet another example of how MediaTek powers some of the smartest experiences in the world today. Thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk Samsung one more time in what was two segments, which I just decided to merge into a longer one. Let's begin with an unexpected change in plans. Remember the rumors of the Galaxy S26 Edge, Pro, and Ultra, with Samsung ditching the Plus for the Edge? Yeah, scratch that. New reports claim that there are 4 models coming in January with the Galaxy S26 Pro, the Edge, the Plus, and the Ultra. Why? Well, it seems the S25 Edge did not sell well, so the Plus is making a comeback to help out. Now, the chip strategy is rather interesting. According to a new report corroborated by Sam Mobile, the Galaxy S26 Pro will be powered by Samsung's upcoming Exynos 2600 chip in most regions, while the United States and China variants are expected to feature Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. And listen, I know, but before you complain, it seems this Exynos 2600 is reportedly using Samsung's new 2nm process, so it could just be that it might be ahead of everything else, at least in technology, as everything else is still at 3. And about that Ultra, things are starting to get a bit controversial. The latest set of renders show the flagship in 3 different colors, including a look that's pretty familiar. It is a striking shade of orange that seems inspired by Apple's new cosmic orange finish on the iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max. It wouldn't be the first time that Samsung has followed Apple in color trends, but here's the thing. Apple didn't do orange first. We've seen Samsung launching online exclusives in red for the S22 series and then orange for the S24 series, and dare I say, that was a pretty neat orange. So while this technically isn't copying, the timing is just genuinely legendary. Sources like OnLeaks are questioning just how real the leak is, though, so just take it with a grain of salt. In today's question, let me know. What Galaxy S26 variant are you most excited for? Because in my case, yes, of course I want the Ultra, but believe it or not, I'm actually looking out for that Edge as well. I like that phone a lot, but I'm curious to know what you would like or prefer in the comments. Friends, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Tech Briefing. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as I'm sure you've seen me respond to as many as I can. Also, follow me on social media, as more behind-the-scenes work continues to happen there. By the way, our first podcast episode with Josh is now live. Our new show is called Technically There, and the first episode explains it all, so please go and watch that. I would really also appreciate your support there with a subscribe, and please watch the video, bring me your feedback, let me know what you like, what you prefer to change. We've got so many episodes already recorded, so this show is for you. We would love to know what you think. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.